The issue of race as opposition to the preaching of the restored gospel of Jesus Christ is well known. I think I am as aware as anyone of words and actions by some church leaders in the 1800s and even the last century that are among what President Dallin H. Oaks sensitively referred to as disappointments of the past. Indeed, there has been a resurgence of publications related to this subject. Are we justified in accusing our brethren of the past of racism day and night, even if the accusations are true, or are we in danger of perhaps repeating a perilous premortal practice? The first principle I will share to help us refrain from fighting against the apostles of the Lamb is the first principle of the gospel, faith in that Lamb and his atonement. But Brother Corbitt, does the Lord want us to ignore racism in our church history? What should our response be to, say, 19th century attitudes and actions of prejudice in the church that were directly contrary to what our leaders teach today? He then taught two key principles that can shield us all from deception where past prophets and apostles are concerned. He stated the first in this easily missed but important plea to latter-day humanity: condemn me not because of mine imperfection. No wonder he warned, he that condemneth, let him be aware, lest he shall be in danger. Obviously, many of earlier generations lacked the light and revelation regarding racial equality and understanding that prophets and apostles had long since taught and reinforced. But it is neither noble nor Christ-like to condemn our brothers and sisters of the past, because as the morning was breaking and the shadows fleeing, they labored under less light than we do. Condemn me not because of mine imperfection, neither my Father because of his imperfection, neither them who have written before him, but rather give thanks unto God that he hath made manifest unto you our imperfections, that ye may learn to be more wise than we have been. In other words, we focus on and learn from past prophets and apostles' teachings and witnesses of Christ and his gospel. Beyond that, as we see imperfections, we simply learn to be more wise in these areas as we move forward in faith. But again, we do not judge or condemn them. I suggest that if this response seems strange, it may reflect some distance from Jesus' own teachings. He famously warned, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again." Judging includes not forgiving and assuming past prophets' actions were wrong based on personal or modern standards. Thus, the issue is not whether someone in the past had a flawless performance. Let's just take the latter-day and ancient prophets and apostles at their word and concede to those who pick through history looking to publish such things that, like us, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God in Paul's words. No, the far greater issue is whether we will embrace the greater things in faith. The greater things include charity, without which we are nothing anyway, and that forward-facing faith is unto repentance. Again, we should be careful to avoid assuming past prophets' actions were wrong, unwise, or the fruit of human weakness simply because they look wrong from our modern perspective. Prophets in the scriptures have in fact been commanded to do things that are clearly contrary to today's norms, customs, and even laws. As we seek and focus on the greater things in forward-looking faith unto repentance, we will less likely misinterpret as wrong the actions of past prophets. Besides, if we really believe Jesus, as we judge others, we will be judged, and as we refuse to forgive others, we will receive no forgiveness, regardless of how pure we are in that particular sin that really bothers us when others commit it. This brings Jesus' beams and motes warning into clearer focus, doesn't it? As we search for or murmur about imperfections of prophets and apostles, past or present, as we condemn and refuse to forgive them, we sadly lack the faith, hope, charity, and humility that enable our Redeemer to forgive and save us. This negative focus also leads to criticize and have little confidence in living prophets and apostles as well.